I do not feel bad for this man at all. Let's get into it. A lot of people are sympathizing with Jeremiah after this last episode, and it seems to me like his manipulation tactics are working on you guys as well. I want to explain why we should not just be blindly forgiving him and ignoring the accountability that he still hasn't taken. I want to do a disclaimer that, like, I do think the show is trying to make you feel a little bad for him. Like, they're not trying to paint him as this villain, but I want to acknowledge there is still so much left for his character to grow in before he even becomes any sort of redeemable person in my eyes personally. So let's start off with the fact that he was not blindsided by any of this. He has multiple times in this past episode, in previous episodes, explained that he knew that Belly and Conrad loved each other. He tells Belly in season 2, there will always be something between you and Conrad. In his point of view episode, he says, I hate myself for not seeing it earlier, that invisible force between them, inevitable. At the motel, he tells Conrad, you still love her, admit it. Also at the motel, he tells Belly, he still loves you. These are all things he said before getting into a relationship with Belly. So that's not even talking about everything that he has been aware of while he's in a relationship with Belly, which is even more, and he expressed multiple times in the past episode. This entire argument that he had with Belly when they were breaking up felt so manipulative to me personally. He kept blaming Belly for everything wrong that was happening as if he didn't put himself in the situation. In this argument, he proved that he was using Christmas not only as his excuse for what he did in Cabo, but also as ammunition towards Belly. I just don't understand how anyone could possibly think that what they had going on is healthy in any way. Love does not keep score, and he keeps score with Belly so much. And all of the situations that he kept blaming Belly for were situations where he was testing her rather than communicating how he actually felt about it. Like, why did he not ask her about Christmas? He said he was waiting for her to tell him. That's testing her. Testing to see if she can prove that he loves her enough to tell him about that situation. Why not just ask? Like, it is not healthy in any way. He blamed her for saying yes to the proposal if she still loved Conrad. He was like, why didn't you just say no if you had any doubt? Why did you ask in the first place? He asked her to marry him knowing about Christmas and was using it almost as a test to see if she loved him enough to say yes. And she says yes, so he thinks he's finally enough for her. But he's still not communicating the fact that, like, why is he even asking her in the first place? He asks her in a place where he admitted that he has a feeling that she still loves Conrad. Like, make it make sense, truly. He blames Belly so much in this fight for keeping the Christmas secret, as if he wasn't also keeping the secret about Cabo. Like, how is that not hypocritical? And more onto how I think he was using it as ammunition is that he knows he has this, like, secret that he can hold over her that he knows she's keeping. And I honestly feel like that was kind of coming out in the wedding planning of it. I feel like he was really pushing his limits on everything that she could bend to him because it happened so much. And maybe that's just a reflection of how he was throughout their whole relationship. But during the wedding planning, it was almost like crazy the way he was talking to her and, like, expecting her to be okay with so many things that weren't really even consulted with her. It felt like he was testing his limits of how far she would bend to his whims because he knows he has something on her. And now all of a sudden he's the martyr and the victim in the situation. No, it's not how it works. I'm not going to feel bad for a situation he put himself in and that he has taken zero accountability for. He took absolutely no accountability in their breakup. And if you're defending him in it, I don't think you understand just how detrimental this is to Belly. Like, she needs to be able to, like, let go of some of the guilt, like, that she's feeling. Because right now, she's going to feel so guilty for everything he said to her. And she's not the only one in fault here. She's actually already shown so much guilt and accountability for everything that she feels horrible about with the situation. And so has Conrad. Both Belly and Conrad have taken accountability for their roles in the love triangle. He's the only one who hasn't. Which is funny because he's the reason it's even a love triangle in the first place, because he inserted himself into the situation. Yes, he had, like, every right to shoot his shot in season 1 when he tried to kiss Belly in the pool. But he did that after seeing Belly and Conrad almost kiss on the 4th of July and shooting the firework at them. So besides even all the scheming he did, he went to Belly in the first place when she was, like, in a very vulnerable feeling, and that's when he decided to go for her. So I do not feel bad for him in that aspect either. Another reason I don't feel bad, and I think he's insufferable, is that he has known Conrad loves Belly, and he still chooses to parade her in front of him. And I say that not in the way where Belly's like an object that can be paraded, but in a way that he is using her as that. I'm actually getting heated about it again, but this scene cemented it for me. This was less than 2 months after Belly and Conrad broke up, and Belly is like leaning away from Jared, trying to obnoxiously kiss her in front of him, when less than 2 months ago he was saying he still loves her. He knows that. He didn't just hear it from his brother's own mouth. He also heard it from his roommate, who said that he was depressed about breaking up with Belly and always looking at pictures of Belly on his phone. He was in the room when that happened, and he still is choosing to do this. And now that he has Belly, he's still doing it. He does it here in a very unsettling way. And he kind of does it early in the day too, when he's like, and you looked after my girl all summer. What does he want Conrad to respond to that? He knows Conrad has loved Belly all this time, and he still expects him to just put up with it and to be his best man and to give a best man speech and to show up tomorrow and to show up to all of these events, knowing that Conrad still loves Belly. To me, him admitting that he has known this whole time that Conrad loves Belly makes all of his actions just feel so charged and honestly kind of malicious. And I know that's like probably not the intention, but it really feels like he's testing both of them to see which one would give in first, so that he has a reason to take out his anger on them. And the anger, again, should not be directed at either of them. It should be directed at his own father, who he still worships the ground he walks on. So until Jeremiah reflects on how much of the situation he caused and how his pain is largely tied to his own actions and his inferiority complex, I find it almost impossible to root for him or feel bad for him. Because he will be able to move on. What he needs to work on first is his feelings towards his brother, because that's why this hurts so much. It's not all about losing Belly, it's about losing Belly not to his brother, because Belly's not going to Conrad right now, but his brother being part of the reason. That's what's going to hurt him so much in this, not so much that he no longer gets to be with Belly, because he didn't really want to marry her. Like, neither of them did. And once he heals from his inferiority complex and this constant need of being better than his brother that he feels was instilled by his father, he will feel so much relief from that and be able to move on.